Have you ever heard a sound that sent chills down your spine? Let's travel back to a time when Emily, a little girl with an insatiable curiosity for the supernatural, was left alone on a tumultuous night. Her parents had been beckoned by the social calls of a dinner party, leaving Emily to her own devices. As the night draped its dark veil, the power decided to play a cruel trick, plunging the house into an unsettling quiet. In the midst of this silence, a peculiar sound began to echo from the attic, a place Emily had always given a wide berth, a crackling noise akin to the crunch of dry leaves underfoot, yet somehow more sinister. It was a noise that didn't belong in the familiar environment of her home. Emily's heart began to race, thumping against her chest like a frantic drummer. With each crackle, her heart skipped a beat. Can you imagine the fear of coming face to face with your worst fear? Emily, a small-town girl with a vivid imagination and a fascination for the supernatural, found herself in this exact predicament. Alone in the house on a stormy night, Emily's heart pounded like a drum as she ascended the creaky staircase towards the attic, the source of a mysterious crackling sound she'd heard. Stepping into the dimly lit attic, Emily's blood ran cold. There it was, her worst fear, a figure shrouded in black. The witch was as terrifying as she'd imagined from her grandfather's stories. Her hair was long and matted, hanging about her face like a curtain of despair. The witch's smile, crooked and evil, was a chilling sight that could freeze anyone's heart. Emily's instincts screamed at her to run, but she was paralyzed with fear. The witch, with an agility that belied her decrepit appearance, reached out and clamped her bony fingers around Emily's arm. The cold touch of the witch sent shivers down Emily's spine. She was a captive audience to her worst nightmare, unable to escape the terrifying encounter. Then the witch began to chant. The words were in an ancient language, a dialect that was eerie and unfamiliar. The chant echoed off the attic walls, filling the room with an ominous dread. Emily's terror amplified with each word, her heart pounding in sync with the witch's rhythmic chanting. As Emily stood there, petrified, she could feel her hope slipping away. The witch's chant grew louder, the words swirling around her, tightening their hold on her. Emily closed her eyes, bracing for the worst. But then, just when Emily thought all hope was lost, the attic door burst open. Oh, what would you do if you found out your parents were not ordinary people? Just when Emily's fear was about to consume her, the attic door burst open. Emily's parents, sensing something was amiss, had cut their evening short and arrived home just in time. They were no ordinary couple. They were well-versed in the arcane arts, knowledgeable in spells and enchantments. Standing strong against the witch's blazing anger, they brandished their wands with a determination that was awe-inspiring. As they chanted powerful incantations, the witch began to shrink, her evil grin fading into a grimace of defeat. The once menacing figure was now nothing more than a withered husk, her power sapped away by the couple's magic. With the witch defeated, Emily's parents rushed to comfort their terrified daughter. Their reassuring presence was a balm against the horror that had unfolded, a reminder that even in the face of darkness, there are those who can wield the light. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned in your life? This was the question Emily's parents posed to her after the harrowing encounter. With their gentle assurance, they revealed an unsettling truth. A reality where witches and demons were not mere figments of imagination, but entities that roamed the shadows. Yet they held Emily close, their voices steady, their eyes resolute. They explained their own unique abilities, their power to vanquish such dark forces. It was a chilling revelation, but one that carried an important truth. Fear could only rule if you let it. Emily, in her quiet courage, grasped this lesson. She learned the true essence of bravery, understanding that it wasn't about the absence of fear, but the decision to face it head-on. She learned to control her fears, never again allowing them to control her. And as for the witch, she never troubled anyone again. But on stormy nights, you might still hear her evil cackling in the attic.